How you doing, folks? Today we're working inside a little bit. It's kind of cold outside, about 10 degrees, and it's super chilly. So what we've got here in front of us is a soil test kit. It has 4 different tests. We'll test the pH, which is acidity or alkalinity. We'll test the nitrogen level, the phosphorus level, and the potash or potassium level. So inside this test kit, and there will be a link down in the description. So anyway, let's look at this guy. Get the clips off here, open it up, and it comes with your little instruction bulletin, instruction pamphlet, and it tells you how to get your soil samples ready on the front. And then as you open it up, it goes through each of the tests. Starts off with the pH test, and then it goes through the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium tests, and gives you step-by-step instructions on how to perform those. And you've got little color charts to compare your results with. Inside, you got everything you need. You got your N1 nitrate extraction, phosphate extraction solution, potassium, and you got 2 for those, K1 and K2. Over here, they give you a nice little tool to get things out of here with. It's a little measuring spoon. You got your pH test solution, and you got your more phosphorus powder, more nitrate powder, and this is a what is this? This is barium sulfide, barium sulfate. What is this here stuff? Barium sulfate. Yeah. Okay, and you got a couple little test tubes, and well, let's get that back out. Make it easier on myself. There we go. This little guy is kind of a syringe type thing. It'll be used for filtering out a solution in the later tests. So anyway, that's the soil testing kit. So I'm gonna kind of take things out. All right, you can see here that I've got 4 plastic cups with soil in them, and there are 5 plastic cups with soil in them, and they're from 5 different places in my lot. This one right here is the native topsoil or native soil, and it has no nutrients. It's alkaline in nature, and it's just totally useless for growing anything but tumbleweeds. I'm set it aside. This is from my worm bed, and it's got a high nutrient level. It's about neutral on the pH scale, and I know what it is. It's mostly worm castings and matter that the worms are digesting. I'm going to set it aside. What we have here is my existing strawberry bed soil. I'm going to wait on that too. And this is from my blueberry patch, existing soil from there. What we're going to test today is topsoil that I had brought in. I brought in a truckload of 10 yards of topsoil. So we're going to test it for all 4 conditions. Okay, as you can see here, I've written down topsoil, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and pH. And we're going to start off with the pH test. So here it tells us what to do. We are going to get a test tube, and we're going to get about 1 milliliters worth of topsoil in here. And find the marks. There they are. Close enough. Close enough. And it's telling us to get 1 spoon of the barium sulfate, which is this stuff right here, barium sulfate. And by spoonful, they mean this little guy right here, this little spoon. So 1 spoonful of that. Put it in there. Put the cap on it. All right. Now the pH test solution is right here. All right. And we're going to fill it up to the 2.5 milliliter mark. So the test solution goes in to the 2.5 milliliter mark. Let me get my graduations marked here. There we go. Put the cap on it. We're not in any rush right now. Let me get this test solution off of here. All right. And it says shake thoroughly. So we're shaking thoroughly. All right. It says to set it aside and let it sit for about 5 minutes. We're going to do that. While we're doing that, we can be going on with another test. So we're going to do the nitrogen test next. Okay. So we're going to take this guy right here. Take this cap off. Got a little plunger. I'm going to pull that out. All right. One thing I forgot to show you was these little guys here. They're little filter discs. All right. So we're going to get one out of the package. If we can get just one. They are in here kind of crowded up. There's one right there. Set that aside. We're going to need it later. So we'll put the filter disc in here. And we'll use the little spoon to seat it against the bottom. All right. Okay. All right. So we're going to, it says, we're going to put a milliliter of dirt in here. So let's get that done. That's about a milliliter right there. All right. Okay. Add the appropriate test solution. We're going to add the N1 solution to the 2.5 milliliter mark. Here's the N1 solution right here. Hope you can see that. So we're going to go up to the 2.5 milliliter mark on this. Get that out of the way so you guys can see. And I'll get down here where I can see. 2.5 milliliters. All right, it says insert the plunger just inside. So there's the plunger going just inside. And gently shake it for 30 seconds. What the plunger does is allow you to shake this stuff up without spilling it. Kind of plugs it up. So we're going to shake all this up. All right, we're going to call that good. All right, press the plunger down slowly until it just touches the soil and the test solution. So here we go. Pushing the plunger down. There we go. Got it touching it. All right, put the cap back on it. The cap is going to act kind of like a vise on this. And what we're going to do is keep twisting it down until we get a bunch of fluid coming up through the filter. It's like a French press for coffee, only it's for dirt. We're going to keep going. It's going to get a little tough. It doesn't like doing this. So we're going to turn it at an angle a little bit here. Crank down on it some more. Not sure how much fluid we got. Well, we got a little bit. We got some to there. So I think we've got about a milliliter's worth of fluid. So what it says to do next is to pour a milliliter worth of fluid into one of these. I'm going to cheat. I've got a lot of these laying around, so I'm going to, instead of trying to pour it out, I'm going to do it this way. Did that give me a milliliter's worth? Yeah, almost exactly. Okay. So I'm going to put this back together. I'll clean it out later. So we can go over to here, the nitrogen test. Add 1 level teaspoon of the N2. Here's the N2 stuff. So 1 little spoon of that. Spoon. Powder. It's in there. Put the cap back on it. That over there. Put the cap back on that. And gently shake it for 10 seconds. And let the tube sit for 5 minutes. All right, set that aside over there. It's been about 5 minutes, and we've got our nitrogen test, or not nitrogen, but pH test right here. So we're going to go back over to the previous page. And this shows us to be pretty doggone alkaline. Wouldn't you say that color's about the same? Yep. So we've got over 7.5 in alkalinity. It's not acidic enough. So we'll fix that. Uh, yeah, we'll fix that before we go planting in this stuff. Okay, I just went and cleaned these guys out because we're going to need them again here in a bit. All right, so it's been a while. Let's look at the nitrogen level, and I would say there's no nitrogen in that soil according to that. It's highly depleted. All right, next we're going to do the phosphorus test. Clean some things out first. All right, I've got everything cleaned out, so let's go to the phosphorus test. And we need to get the soil ready. There we go. So for looking for the P1, which is here. Here's the P1. And we're going to fill that up to the 2 milliliter mark. We'll put a little bit more in there. I think I overfilled the soil just a touch. Once again, we're going to need a filter. There's a little filter right there. Clean out the plunger here a little bit. It's got some dirt in the corner. All right. So we'll put the filter in here like that. Tap it down. Shove the plunger in down to there. Twist the cap on it. Some fluid up in here. All right, we got fluid. All right. And test tube. Got that. Okay, you can see the fluid in there. We need 1 milliliter. So let me see, get to where I can see the marks on this. It's got some leftover water from when I washed it. Shake that out. Not quite up to the 1 milliliter mark. See if I can get some more out of this. Well, maybe. Cranked it down there pretty tight. Those 2 drops get it. It's right there. It's pretty close. Set these aside. All right. So for the phosphorus test, I need half a spoon of that. See how little that is? They want half a spoon. Okay, of the P2 powder. Here's the P2 powder. Let's see if I can get half a spoon in here. That looks like about half a spoon right there. Maybe a touch more. Whoa, that's a bit much. There we go. We'll call that half a spoonful. Throw it in there. All right. And cap it up. So shake it gently for 5 seconds. Call that 5 seconds. Says take the cap off and immediately check the color. Okay, so immediately checking the color. It's a little bit above the depleted. So it's between depleted and deficient. Okay, we can handle that. We can fix that too. I've got stuff for that. All right. Our next test is going to be potassium. So we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to go clean these guys out. All right, the potassium test. Add a half milliliter. Oh, wait a minute. Gotta get the sample ready first. So a milliliter of this. Just a touch more. There we go. So we got a milliliter of that. And we're not going to need K1 solution. K1. And we're going to fill it up to the 2 milliliter mark. Or to the 2 milliliter mark. Get another one of our little filters. Just need one. Not 100. There's one. Put the rest of these back in the baggie. Put the filter in the plunger. Get it seated in there. Put the plunger in enough that I can shake it up. So we're going to shake it up for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, minute, whatever. You're going to get it shook up. All right. Now, we're going to push this down till it's right about there. Put that back on. Get some fluid filtered through here. I want as much fluid in there as I can get. Give it another twist. Okay. Give it another twist. Twist it some more. We're almost down to where it's just dirt. So we've just about got all this pressed through here. I'd say that's good. Now, potassium. Okay, we go to the 1 milliliter mark in the test tube. Okay. Put this back on here so I don't get it all discombobulated. Okay. Add 5 milliliters of the K2 solution, or half a milliliter, not 5, half. All right, so there's half a milliliter of that. We're going to let it stand for 5 minutes. We'll be back. All right, it's been a while. So the instructions say to look down through this and slide it down the scale here till you can just barely see the box. And it tells me that my potassium level is depleted. So what I found out about the topsoil, let's write this down. Okay. Alkaline on the pH. Let's see. Potassium is depleted. Phosphorus was deficient. Nitrogen was depleted. So this topsoil I bought is basically an inert growing medium right now. Don't know what kind of microorganisms it might have in it. Probably got a few, but it needs some work. Got to build up the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium and acidify it a little bit. Here in the booklet, it says to raise or lower the pH of your soil. Adjusting the pH. Instructions below. Basically, what you can do is add sulfur to this. Another thing you can add is ammonium sulfide. It'll raise it'll lower the pH rapidly, but it doesn't last very long. Sulfur lasts a little bit longer. You apply sulfur about twice a year. Okay, the nitrogen levels. All right. So it's got the recommended fertilizers for nitrogen levels were depleted. So it says blood meal, dried blood, 11%. Gives you a 36% nitrogen boost. All right. Phosphorus, phosphate, bone meal, says use that. So we can do that. And potassium, you use nitrate of potash to build that up. Then he goes through here and it tells you all sorts of different plants and what they prefer as far as pH level is concerned. That is fairly important. It's got a big list of them here. All right. Let's see, recommendations for lawn, fruit, flower, shrubs, vegetables, root vegetables, leafy vegetables, trees, and general feed. So we've got depleted nitrogen. Let's go with leafy veggies. So you want a 28 to 29% nitrogen. Let's see. The phosphorus. Let's go down here, leafy vegetables. If it's deficient, well, it's actually depleted. No, we'll call it deficient. So you want a 5.25 to 5.5% on that. And on the potassium, if it's depleted, you want 8.75 to 9% fertilizer on that. So it tells you how to correct your soil. So it's a pretty good little test kit. What I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to test my worm bed soil. All right, we're not going to do it on this video. What I'm going to do is test it off camera, and then what I'll do is add a segment to this video showing the results of that test. All right, so that's it for right now. Keep watching for the results for the worm bed soil test, and that'll be at the end of the video. Thank you very much. All right, we're back. So, tested the worm bed soil, and the pH on it was 6.5, slightly acidic, not quite acidic as much as I want. Nitrogen deficient. Phosphorus, it was okay. And the potassium was depleted. So we can fix all of that. That's pretty easy. The pH and the nitrogen I can fix in one fell swoop using a product called ammonium sulfate. There's another product out there called aluminum sulfate. Never use it. Use ammonium sulfate to lower the pH and raise up the nitrogen. The phosphorus, not too worried about it. It's good. That'll be good for roots and blossoms. And the potassium, we'll have to raise that up a little bit and get that going good so the plants have a good nutrient base. So anyway, that was the soil testing that I did. And once again, this is the test kit, soil test kit. I'll put a link down in the description for this. And it comes with really good instructions. So I recommend it. And we're going to call it good for the day. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you very much.